What do you think is this capability gap that we're seeing today with AI?
So what we're experiencing at the moment is unlike anything we've experienced before. So not the change, not the fact that we've got a new technology that we're all grappling with. That's always happened and is nothing new in some sense. The difference is the speed at which it's moving is just unparalleled. We've never had anything like this before. If you go back to other technologies, say the printing press or even the internet, you're looking at quite a long period of time for a technology, from the invention of a technology to that technology being bedded into society. Sometimes take the internet, I think it's about 17 years between when it was invented in the early 80s to when we could say it was mass adopted. I'm using exclamation marks for those people not on video. So the difference with the AI, well, this flavor of AI, I like to call it the generative AI revolution, is that's probably happened in a number of months. So what that means in terms of the capability gap is that whilst there is untold amount of money being invested in this technology from everyone, and everyone's on the bandwagon, everyone's deploying AI in some sense, whether that's properly or not is another question. But people are saying, yes, I'm adopting AI, I've got an AI strategy. So they're adopting AI, but the capability of the people within the organization to use that AI is not going at nearly the same pace.
Mm.
So we're having this gap and it's getting bigger and bigger all the time. If you imagine a scale, a graph, you've got this kind of hockey stick thing going on with the adoption of AI to the point that nearly everyone's adopting AI. And then at the same time, the capability gap's kind of crawling and that gap's getting bigger and bigger. Now, this is important because when the AI chatbots first came out, they were really easy to use. There wasn't a huge amount of training to learn how to use them properly. It was pretty much common sense. Yes, you needed some help with prompts and things like that, but we're talking about natural language. So the difference between how to use the tool and the capability was quite small. We're now moving into AI agents, AI orchestration, all these other kind of dimes which involves AI. And there's a lot of people who haven't even made it past that first rung. So now it's becoming harder and harder for those people to get on to the ladder. And my fear is that's going to get worse and worse. And then we're going to have this separation in society between the haves and the have-nots. Well, and the frustrating thing is it doesn't need to be that way. Like really, everyone can get onto this. There's no reason for, it doesn't matter what position you are, what company you are, to be able to upskill yourself. So it's a frustration for me, really.
And I share with you that frustration, and I'm also seeing this same pattern, this same behavior, and this gap kind of increasing in a way because the technology is moving so much faster than really what our potential on the human
Mm.
side it's kind of picking up to, right? We're not picking up the pieces of how AI on the technology side is accelerating because we are not keeping up with our pace of learning and adopting this new technology. And this is what we're talking about today. And it's not good. Every time that you have a gap so wide, and the wider it gets, the worse, because how good is the technology if you cannot have mass adoption on it? And this is what we're seeing. This is what I'm frustrated as well, because even though there is a lot of conversations around AI, I'm still seeing a huge gap between the what the technology can do and the adoption rates that we see on the human side of things.
Yeah,